This is Divine Evolution, and I'm Chris O'Connor. I would like to speak with you about meditation and why it is so important to our soul's evolution. Every day, day to day, comes at us in many directions. There's noises audibly, even visually, there's noise coming in to our senses. And what we need to do in order to know who we truly are as an individual is to find those places of silence, to find the calm, to find the peace within, and to be able to sit in this silent peace and think upon or meditate upon who we are, what we desire in life, and what is it that we feel we need to learn or to improve to be a better person, to be a better human, to be a better soul. Of course, these are an infinite number of facets to all of these, but the reason meditation is important is so that when we find our place of emotion, what we need to do is go into that emotion. So let me explain what I mean. In order to evolve or to improve as a soul, as a human being, we have to know who we are in each and every way, on a physical, spiritual, and mental level. We have to know who this being is. In order to do that, we have to explore. We have to explore each of our responses to catalysts, to emotional moments in our lives. And we have to observe these responses. And in the observance of these responses, we can understand the reason we responded in the way that we did to any given situation. If something comes up and is distracting or disturbing, for example, I've been having a difficult time today beginning this recording because it seems all of my neighbors, one after the other, have decided to mow the lawn. It's a Saturday. I get it. And it's been really difficult for me to get anything recorded. But then I also realized that was a catalyst for me. That was a catalyst for my changing my attitude, not being upset that the neighbors are acting and reacting upon their own personal free will by mowing their lawn, which I would also say thank you for keeping up this beautiful neighborhood. I can't be upset with them for any action that they're taking on this. What I have to do is take that circumstance of the lawn mowing and that background noise and decide to either continue to wait and avoid that noise altogether, or to explore it. What would happen if I did begin this recording one more time and continued despite whether or not the lawnmower was going? I decided to continue the recording and then use that as an example of catalyst for change. My change right now is I've accepted that background noise, and in the acceptance of it, technically the acceptance of it would probably be the second step. The first step being understanding why I'm reacting in a negative or positive way to the outside stimulus or catalyst of that noise, inhibiting the recording session. Why is that upsetting to me? Well, I can't get a clean recording. I've been having difficulty as it is for lack of decent equipment, and I can't, in my mind, add on such a loud, continuously going external disturbance. Or can I? Well, apparently I can. I've been recording, and I've gotten some stuff done, and I've gotten some points out for me to understand more about why it was upsetting. The reason it was upsetting is because I wasn't getting what I wanted, which was a clean recording. But that's okay. It's more important that I just do it, that I just get it recorded, and that I continue forward. And in the learning of the reasoning, I can then accept it. I can accept it for what it is. It's a disturbance, and it's okay. It's not going to stop me from doing what it is I know I need to do today, and that is record. In the thinking upon and dissecting my reason for being bothered. That is a form of meditation. And when I speak of meditation, it isn't necessarily having to take 20, 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, and sitting in utter and complete silence in a state of immobility and listening and trying to ward off thoughts and external stimuli. Though that is a very useful and positive type of meditation, it isn't by far the only type. And there are many types of meditation. Another form of meditation I do is actually my favorite, and that is on a treadmill. I set the treadmill up for an hour. I do a fast walk. After 1 hour, it will begin a 5-minute cool down process. I get my body into a rhythm. I lock my body into that position and into that movement. And I keep moving and keep moving. After a few minutes, when my breath and my motion have all synchronized, I can then begin to go into a deep state. And I go through the process that I personally go through to get me into a deeper state of thinking. And I cannot tell you how many times I think I've gone 5 or 10 minutes, and then the hour ends by the cool down period. And there are times I've had to literally wake myself up. So that's also a type of meditation, because what I'm doing is I'm focusing my thought and intention upon inner seeking. So you can do basically anything that helps get you into that mode of thinking, which is of looking on the inside and figuring yourself out. Whether it's swimming, walking, jogging, singing, there are so many things that you can do. That's why it's very personal. And seeking out different types of meditative experiences are actually really fascinating as well. One time in particular, I was leaving my body, and there were probably one of my guides, I'm assuming. It was as if I was pushed back into my body, kind of slammed, almost aggressively. But it was a lesson that I needed to it's not time to leave my body, so stay there. So it was a lesson of my being aware that I can leave my body if I so choose. I learned how that's possible, but it wasn't right time. And that was an important lesson for me. Though it could have been taken in a different way, where it had been an aggression or a negative thing. I had to understand the heart of what the moment was. The heart of it was I needed to understand and learn. It's not time for me to leave. So there are a cadre of ways for each of us as an individual to find that place within us where our conscious and subconscious minds can come together. And that is truly the purpose of dreaming and meditation. And why is it important that our conscious and our subconscious minds come together? Because it helps to visualize yourself as a tree, for example, where your roots are planted into the earth. And then the trunk coming up through your body, that is your subconscious mind. And then from your mind, from the top of your head, branches out, all these branches and leaves, flowers, however you want to visualize it. And those reach out into the universe surrounding yourself. And each leaf and branch has experiences. And those experiences, just as if it's being photosynthesized from the sun, flows through that leaf and that branch into the trunk. And then that trunk, which is the subconscious mind, takes all of this information. And this is where true change happens. Because our higher self takes this information. This is where we begin to understand what we need to change, what lessons we need to evolve and become closer and closer with God the Creator. Since that is our journey being we are seeking to return to God the Creator. We have to be like God the Creator. We have to be in sync. And so the process of being in sync is our evolutionary process, is why reincarnation is so critical, because we can't do that in a single lifetime. And each time you have an experience and it goes into your subconscious mind, into the trunk of your tree of consciousness. It is held there and maintained there. Our conscious mind, the branches, are still experiencing everything around, and so there's information coming in all the time. Sometimes we have to focus in on certain aspects of things surrounding us, different catalysts coming in. And in order to do that, we have to focus the trunk of our tree, our subconscious, on a specific experience or on the experiences overall to see where we are. What is it that we need to learn? And that's not something the conscious and subconscious minds do naturally while we're awake. So when we go to sleep, our subconscious mind and our conscious mind can come together, and dreaming are ways that happen so that we can understand and learn lessons. When we dream, it's the information from the day and from all of our previous lifetimes being processed and how we're going to apply it to make those changes for tomorrow. And that process is only really truly done when the subconscious and conscious minds come together. And that is in sleep via dreaming, and that is in meditation. That theta wave place that our minds can be connected subconsciously and consciously. You may ask yourself, how can you be asleep and still be conscious? Well, you can. I personally am aware at times that I'm dreaming. That is a whole process in of itself of learning how to recognize that you're dreaming. And that's an evolutionary journey that's pretty fascinating all of its own. I'm so driven to make change. I'm so driven to want to be a better person, to be a better human being. That is very important to me. So I seek and search, and I dream, and I meditate. And whatever form of meditation that it takes for that moment is fine. If it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, it's better to have 5 minutes than 0 minutes. And each time you begin to meditate, you begin to understand how you can focus all of the information from the outside world in such a way that it's easier to process, so that things aren't as difficult, so that you're more calm, that you're more peaceful, and you have a confidence in yourself because you're understanding yourself, and you have a direction, and you have a purpose. And this purpose is to be a better soul complex. And this is done through meditation. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today on this, my 9th episode of Divine Evolution. It truly means so much to have each and every listener, and each and every download, and each and every follower. Because this is a labor of love. It's a labor of love because it's a journey that we are on. We are all on this journey together. And one day all of humanity, all humankind will come together. That is the first step, leaving third density, leaving this physical realm. Humankind must come together in a way that we're all of the same mind, meaning that we are all connected. Our minds are all connected in a way that you could consider a hive mind mentality. You don't lose yourself in it because you're still an individual, but you know what everyone else is thinking, and that comes together because we have to be of one mind as a race to move forward. We must accept one another. We must not judge one another. And we must love one another because we are all beings of light. And when I say we're beings of light, I mean we're beings of love. And when I say we're beings of love, that love is of the love of God, the Creator. And that love is His very consciousness and His very soul, which is why we can feel love when we feel it so powerfully. We're feeling God. And that's where we're moving to, closer to God the Creator. So we must all do our part, because within us is peace. Within each of us is light. And within each of us is God the Creator. So we must not judge. We must be forgiving. We must show love. And we must express love. It isn't a weakness. It takes a lot more strength to say I love you than to not. On that note, know that I love you. We truly here at Divine Evolution love each and every one of you. We also ask that if you don't mind, we would like to share as many lessons as we can with as many people as are interested. And reviews are very helpful for that. Any podcaster knows. You could all go to Divine Evolution on Podchaser. I would be very grateful. Of course, you can find it on all major platforms. We would love to hear from some of you. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to hear. We will evolve as Divine Evolution in whatever ways possible to stay connected with you, because we want to share our love. And don't forget that we love you. Thank you again for being with us. I'm Chris O'Connor.